Okay, so good evening, everybody. So good evening, everybody. Actually, we have completed our course content. So far, whatever I tried my best. Okay, within the limited time. I wish I could have more time and I could teach more in depth. But whatever time frame I got, and I believe I utilize every minute. I try to utilize every minute. Okay. And then now this week we want to review. So whatever questions you have, I will try my best to answer your question, and I believe I will be able to do that. Okay. And for the test is your final is on December 4th here, right? But for online section you will make announcement. For your face-to-face class lab test will be December 4th, and that will start from 6. If you come here at 6:30, then you will be late. Remember that. If you come here at 6:30 regular class time, you will be late, because this time your test will be really about 2 hours. 2 hours. There will be 10 to 12 questions you have to answer. Okay, so what kind of question it will be, I don't know yet, but I will try to know, and then I like to suggest you, we will give you a study guide, but time is short, right? This is the last week and about a week. So I like you to review all of the previous tests. There will be some similar questions from the previous test. Okay? Yes.
So you said that we're finished with course material, but are there any more assignments that need to be submitted on D2L or Gradescope this week?
Yeah, that a few minutes ago I discussed about that. Okay, so for the lab, or are you in my lab class, right? You are in my lab class. For the lab class, there are 2 assignments due. Lab 7B, that was due tomorrow night, but I extended it until November 30th. You see that? And another one is 8A, and I believe 8A is only pseudocode. And you have one, maybe that is a bonus. You have one bonus assignment. Someone told me on 6th, right?
Yeah, December 6th.
December 6th.
That's just for you.
Okay, but here it says December 8th, December 10th. Yeah. Tomorrow I will know. Tomorrow we have a meeting. Okay, tomorrow I will know, and tomorrow we will update that one after at the time of meeting. And in our next class, we will discuss, hopefully. And the coming class will be, upcoming class will be our last class. So everybody please come in and discuss, and we will discuss to make your final better. So I believe your final should be better. So if you review your previous 3 test questions and study guide for the previous 3 tests, yes, then it will be good.
So going back to the lab, for the lab assignments and stuff, should we follow the due dates that are on Gradescope, or the due dates that are on D2L?
For the Gradescope, for the assignments are on Gradescope. So for the assignments, do not follow D2L. But for the lab, follow D2L. You have to submit your lab in the D2L and your assignments on Gradescope. I don't have any access to extend assignments, but I can extend labs, right? Okay, I told you. Okay, so what do you like me to cover? Has anyone any question about your previous test question? So before for the preparation of this test, I like everybody to clone my project. This one, CSE1322 review. Okay, and clone this project, and within this project you will see I have a source and I have almost everything I discussed in this class. So I have abstraction, array, binary search tree, built-in array list. We don't need built-in array list. Then class and object, constructor, exception handling, inheritance, and linked list. Okay, method overriding, method overloading, maybe somewhere it has, and okay, upcasting, downcasting, parameter passing, polymorphism, queue implementation, recursive methods. Okay, searching algorithms, sorting algorithms, stack implementation, string operation, test. Okay, test 2 programs, maybe test 3 programs as well as. Okay, you can see this. So if I want to review this course, actually I have uploaded this, imported this project on my classes. So this is a student class. So I rename it as a student 13, actually 1322, because Java does not allow to have same class name in a project. I mean multiple times. This is why I renamed this class as something different. Okay, but in your test, when you do handwriting, you can create same class. Okay, that will not be a problem. So let us quickly review this. Okay, I believe at this point, so everybody knows what is a class. Right? A class is a data type, right? A template. A class is a template of a group of similar things, similar object, things means objects. It is a template, it is a blueprint. For instance, while developing this building, okay, an architect or a group of architects, they developed a skeleton, like this is called, what is that called? The architectural design, right, of this building. Okay, that design is followed by some other civil engineers, or then some what are they called? People, construction people, right? Okay, that the same paper or the construction design can be or could be used to develop this kind of multiple buildings, right? Only one construction like design paper is needed to develop multiple similar buildings, right? We know that. So this is actually the template or blueprint. Class is a blueprint. We need to design or develop a class. Why? In order to create a variable. This variable is called complex or compound variable that we will call object. Rather than, so instead of normal variable like integer variable or float or double or character variable or boolean variable, those variables contains only one kind of data. An integer variable contains only an integer data, right? A boolean variable can contain only a boolean data. But a class can contain two or more or of similar kind of that kind of variables, a combination of different kind of variables. That is the concept of developing a class. So we discuss with developing a student class. For instance, if a student has roll number, name, and then marks, Then we created this as a private, right? So private, these are this role name and mark, these are called field, right? This field will contain independent values, distinct or first distinct value of distinct object of this class. So then we created getter and setter. In Java it is called getter and setter in Java and C#. In most programming languages it's called getter and setter, but in Java it says get role and then set role. Okay, this is called getter and this is called setter. Actually setter is used to set or assign a value, and getter is used to return or get a value. So when we create a getter or setter, the getter comes first because of just of the priority of like ascending order. But when you call, we need to call setter method first. Because without setting a method, you cannot access it, right? You need to set it up first, and then you need to get it. So don't confuse that. Although you see getter method first, but you need to call or use or invoke the setter method first. Okay. Then why do we use toString method? Actually, we not only use, we override. We override the toString method. Can anybody tell me why do we use toString method? Why do we override toString method?
Because it's a method of the object class.
Okay. Actually, we override toString method to represent an object in a string format. Is toString method return a string type, right? So however, so that we say that this is string output and we are returning this output, right? So whatever I say in my output variable, so for instance you see that role equal to get role. We will use here like name equal to get name and mark equal to get mark. This is the way how do we just want to display values for each of the attributes or fields. What are our fields here? Role, name and marks for object, right? So if we do not override this toString method, then what will happen? We will get a memory address of an object, of the object. So having memory address is not helpful for us, right? We need actual values that are stored in the memory. So this is why we need to override the toString method in order to display an object according to our expected format, right? Okay, anyone know what is the toString method declared? Or actually toString method is declared in the object class. You see, if I bring my header, this is just mouse pointer over here, you see the toString in object class. Okay, this object class is what? This object class is the parent of all classes. In Java, it is called object O in uppercase. This is defined in java.lang package. Okay, and in C#, it is object but O in lowercase. So this object class is the greatest parent. Okay, most of the useful methods are declared within the object class. Okay. So let us see. Then we discussed constructor, right? What is a constructor? So for instance, if I have my student over here, same student class, so these are constructor. A constructor has some different, a constructor is a method, but it has some special attributes. One of the first attributes is its name is same name exactly as its class name. Okay, and it does not have any return type. Constructor can be a private, but mostly it is a public. Okay, when we do not call a constructor explicitly, okay, we just call it maybe it's slightly explicitly, but when we call it when we create an object of this class. Okay, a constructor is used to initialize the object, create an object and actually initialize the field value of an object. So a class, so this is like, for instance, if I have a class, so this is the, okay, this is a constructor. So how do I know it is a constructor? It has same name of the class name and it is a method. How do I know it is a method? It has a parenthesis, parent. Okay. And this is the default constructor. Default constructor means if I create an object with this constructor, that object's role will be fixed, 318, name will be fixed, and mark will be fixed. Okay, there is another constructor is called empty constructor as well. As sometimes if I do not have anything within the body, that is called empty constructor. Sometimes empty constructor is called a default constructor as well as. Okay. Okay, a class can contain multiple constructors. So this is the default constructor and this is argumented constructor. That means this constructor has some arguments. What are the arguments? Role, integer r, string n, and then float m. Okay, and then here we are assigning role equal to r, name equal to n, and mark equal to m. Okay, this is, although this is good, but this is a naive assignment. Okay, people mostly, developers mostly, what they do, they give same name of the, okay, of these arguments. This is my first argument r, exactly as the same name of the field. My field here is r, role. So people, actually experienced developers, what they do, they will give same name, exactly role. If I give same name, then it will be giving me an error. Okay, so okay, okay, I need to give role. So it will be giving me a warning message. What is this warning about? It does not know which role is which one. So I have a role over here, this role is here, and again I have role here. So in order to resolve this ambiguity, so they said this dot role equal to in order to resolve this issue with ambiguity, we use this operator. Okay, this operator is used, okay, to distinguish this role as the field name and this role as the argument name. Okay, so this is optional. So if you give the different name of the constructor, of the field name and argument name, then this is, so use of this is optional. So here I have name as my field, but I have n for my arguments, right? So I can use this or I cannot use it. I avoid this. It's optional. But when you have same name, then you must use this. Okay. So this operator has some other uses. As you go through in depth, you will learn. Okay, so this is called copy constructor. Okay, so a class can contain multiple constructors. So constructors are methods. When we have multiple methods, that methods must be same name, but these methods must be different in terms of number of arguments or types of arguments. Okay, so here I have student class, student constructor with no argument, but here I have 3 arguments, so these are 3 are different. These 2 constructors are different. Okay. Okay, although I discuss copy constructor, it is not needed for your test. It's out of this syllabus. Okay. And then this display method I have used. So this is a normal method. Okay, I just use this to display role is role. Okay, like this. For instance, this student class is different than the previous student like 1322 class, because it has public method, public field role and public field name and public field mark. So we don't need getter and setter in this case. Because of the public method, we can directly assign this value role. But it is discouraged to declare this as public fields. Okay, we usually declare this as private and declare getter and setter and call getter and setter. Yes.
Yeah, is it best practices to do private so people don't mess with your...
Yes. This is what I mentioned. It's a good practice to make this private, like as I did in this class, and then create getter and setter, so that people will not be other object will not be able to directly access the role name and mark, but indirectly will be able to access get role, get set role, get mark, set mark, if these are public, or through this. Okay, then we discuss inheritance, right? So what is inheritance? Inheritance is a process. In the first stage, many people get the session. Inheritance is a class. Inheritance is not a class. Many of you, I saw that many of you wrote inheritance is a class. Inheritance is not a class. Inherited class, maybe you can have an inherited class. Okay, but inheritance is a process, is a mechanism of accessing or having rights of parents class properties into child class. So every class by default, so for instance this is my employee class, every class by default extends, by using extends keyword, we implement the inheritance, start the inheritance, right? Extend one class. By object class that we discussed is the greatest parent class. Every class by default extends this object class, whether you write or not, do not write by default. Okay, if you write it, no problem. Maybe see what I have in payroll class. Okay, for instance, I have my employee class. Employee class has employee name and employee ID, and it has a constructor, and it has another constructor. And my payroll class is extending my employee class. Okay, as we discussed that all field members are not inheritable. Only the public and protected members are inheritable. Okay, here we did not say anything type modifier. So these are called default modifier. Default modifiers are accessible within the package. So within the package means I have here my code within my inheritance constructor. So whatever this class, so default member from one class will be accessed on default member from one class will be accessed by another class within the package. And if it is public, then it will be accessible by everyone. And if it is private, then it will not be inheritable. So here if we say payroll PR1 equal to new payroll. Okay, so that means PR1 is an object of payroll class and its type is payroll. Okay, and if I say PR1 dot, then you see that is it visible from back? You see that it can access base salary, that is float type, and that is defined within payroll class. It can access employee ID, that is integer type, and defined it within employee class. It can use the clone method that returns object type, and that is defined within object class. And it can use equals method that takes an object type and returns Boolean value, and that is defined within object class. Now you see that now it is good time that I can define that I can show you that there are other methods like a hash code, notify, notify wall. You see two string method, actually notify, notify wall. These are used for multi-threading programming, but we could not go in depth in multi-threading, so I could not show you uses of notify, notify wall. Yes.
Can you go into specifics about downcasting and upcasting?
Okay. I think I will go through there, and before I forget, I want to show you for the test one, many students did a mistake in showing bubble sort. Sorting algorithm, okay? I thought you already know. There are several kinds of sorting and searching algorithms. Like the most common searching algorithm is linear search. You search one by one. The complexity of linear search algorithm is big O n. Okay, and another searching algorithm is binary search algorithm. Okay, binary search is applicable only for sorted list. If your list is already sorted, if your array is already sorted, you know it, then you can imply binary search. Okay, binary search algorithm. So every time it divides, you use divide and conquer method that you will learn in your data structure class. Okay, every time it splits the total list into half, two pieces. So this is why the complexity of binary search algorithm is log n, is base 2, is good algorithm. Okay, so concept of binary search algorithm, for instance, that you will have your lower index and your higher index, and then you will calculate your middle index equal to lower index plus higher index divided by 2. Okay, and since your data are already sorted, so then once you calculate your middle index, you can easily find the element at the middle index. Then it will check your expected item, for instance 20 over here, within your middle index value. Okay, so if it is matching, then fine. If it matches, then fine. Otherwise, if it does not match, then we will check, is my expected value less than the middle index or greater than the middle index. If it is less than the middle index, then what we will do, we will move my higher index to the middle index position, and we will recalculate the middle index. That is the process. So once we recalculate the middle index, same thing we will do in our previous step, that we will find whether our expected value is at the middle index position. If it is yes, then I got it. If it is not, then what it will do, we will again check whether it is greater than or less than. If it is greater than, then what we will do, we will move the lower index to the middle index, and we will recalculate the middle index. Just remember that where is my value, expected value. If it is less than, then I will, if it is less than, then I will move the higher index. If it is greater than, then I will move the lower index. I will move the index towards the expected value. This is the concept. And then I saw that many of you did mistake in writing sorting. Binary bubble, maybe it's bubble sort, right? Yeah, describing the binary sorting process. You are given a set of data, right? You are given a set of values, and you are asked to write what will be the final value after the first iteration. For instance, if my list A contains 8, 4, 2, 1. For instance, if I want to swap it ascending order, ascending means I remember that way. So I'm not an English speaker, so I remember that way. Ascending means from lower, from smaller to higher. That's it, okay? And so that many students they mistake. When you are asked to put ascending order, you do descending. When you are asked to do descending, you do ascending. Just remember that the ascending order is started from lower and makes bigger. So it's lower, okay? Okay, so what in your test it was asked to write the state of your list after each iteration. So how many iterations we need? We need 3 iterations, you know. Then n is here, n equal to 4, right? So we need 3 iterations, n minus 1 iteration. Okay, what is the technique of the bubble sort is algorithm is that first we will do it like this one. So you will make, this is a bubble, right? The bubble is like, this is a bubble. Like this is a bubble, right? And then just forget that part. So for instance, this is a bubble. And for this bubble, we will consider only the edges, this side and that side. Not inside, not outside. Okay, so make a bubble between 8 and 4. And for instance, you are asked to sort it this as an ascending order. So then compare these two age values. Compare 8 and 4. Okay, so is 8 less than 4? No, right? So then we will swap it. So then what will happen? Then 8 will become 4 and 4 will take place at 8. And 2 other values will be same as this in the first swapping. Okay, then we have 2 and we have also 1. Then what we will do, the next, remember it here. We need to make the bubble larger. Okay, we will start from a small bubble and then we will make the bubble larger. And then again we will consider only the values within the 2 edges, not in between, not outside. Okay, so then what we got here? 2 and 4, right? So then 2 and 4, since we want to do ascending order, and this will be replaced, swap, and then 8 in the middle will be as is, and 1 is as is. So now we will make the bubble even more larger. Okay. So at this point, we will exchange 1 and 2. Not, we will not touch 4 and 8 as well. We will not touch inside, right? So then we will stop 1 and this 2. So this is my position, this is my this position, 1, 8, 4, 2. This is my position at the end of first iteration. So how do I know this is the end of first iteration? So at the end of first iteration, you will get at least one element in position. So you got one element in position, right? The first element is already sorted. Okay. Then it needs 3. Actually, here 3. Sorting. Okay. Okay. So this is at the end of first iteration. Okay. Now in the second iteration, we will have one as is, and second iteration we will make another bubble, start with small bubble between 8 and 4. Okay. And then this will be 4 will be replaced with 8 and 2 will be as is. And then we will make another bubble, larger bubble. And then this time we will swap 2 and 4. So at the end of second iteration, we will have already 1 in place, we will get another in place, and then 8 and then 4. This is at the end of second iteration. Okay, so now at the second iteration we got already 2 items solved. So now for third iteration we need to make another bubble here, and we need to swap 4 and 8. So then we will get 1, 2, and then 4 in place, and then we already have 8. Okay. So this is at the end of third iteration. So if you are asked to like this kind of question to write your list state after ending of each of the iteration, then you are asked to write this line. So you can do this rough, or you can show this or do not show this, but you have to do this line. So the complexity of my bubble sort algorithm is that for the first iteration, how many times we need to do swapping? For the n-1, right? n-1. For this first iteration, we need 3 swapping. That means n-1 swap, and here n-2 swap. And here n-3 swap. So here n equal to 4, so n-3 equal to 1, n-2 equal to 2, and n-1 equal to 3. So if I add this up, then I will get 1 plus 2 plus 3. And ultimately this one is 1 plus 2 for n item plus 3 plus ... plus n-1. Right? So ultimately it will be here n into n-1 divided by 2, right, equal to n square minus n divided by 2. So the big complexity of bubble sort algorithm is big O of n into n-1 divided by 2 equal to big O of n squared.
Big O on determining like which sort is which.
Big O is used as a notation to determine the complexity of an algorithm. Actually, you will learn this in your data structure class. How to calculate Big O. This is that I showed you how to calculate Big O.
Will we be tested on that, of knowing at least what it is?
I don't know, in the last test question, there was a question like that. I thought that this was discussed in 1321 class. I was told that this was taught in 1320 in the previous class. But in the previous class, what I taught in 1321, I did not see that there is scope to discuss more in depth about this. Okay, just I gave you hint how to calculate. You will learn this more in your data structure class.
Okay.
It is out of this. It is out of the syllabus of this course. If you learn everything in this class, what you will learn in your data structure class? I cover a lot of stuff for your data structure class, especially linked list, singly linked list, doubly linked list. Okay, what else I covered?
Okay, I do know.
Stack, QE,
Yeah.
and BST, binary search tree. Okay, so everybody, if you know this, you will be good in your data structure class. Okay, there is another searching algorithm. This is called selection. Okay, selection sort. Selection sort actually algorithm implies linear search within it. Okay, another thing that okay, this is the code for bubble sort algorithm. So this algorithm it needs two loops. No matter whether it is as we know, when we handle a two-dimensional array, then we use two for loop, right? But this is a one-dimensional array, but still we need two for loops, because every time we want to make bubble, we need to start with a sub-array, sublist. First sublist will be the entire sublist. Second one will be this one. Third one will be this one, and until this one. So this is why we need the outer for loop in order to create a sublist. And within the inner for loop, we will do swapping.
This is big O n squared.
It will take big O n squared. It will take big O n squared, and also the selection sort algorithm is similar. For instance, it searches for instance, if we want to do similar searching for sorting in ascending order, then we will search for the lowest element. We will start from here and we will search for the lowest element of that. We will start from the beginning and we will search for the lowest element, and then we will replace the lowest element within the position of first element. That is called in-place sorting. And then after each first iteration, I will get one element in position sorted. And then in the second iteration, I will start from this sub-array, sublist. And I will go through the similar process. I will find the lowest element, and then we will replace the lowest element position by this sublist first element position. So this process also will take big O n. For instance, big O n squared complexity time. For instance, here how many elements do we have? We have 5 elements. For the first iteration, for the first one we need 5 iterations. For the second one, we need 4 iterations. Then we need 3 iterations. And ultimately, we will need 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus dot dot plus until n iteration. The sum of this 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus dot dot n equal to n into n plus 1 divided by 2, right? Over that. So that is big O of n into n plus 1 divided by 2 equal to big O of n squared. This is how complexity is calculated. Okay. So learn at least 2 algorithms, like 4 algorithms: select, linear search, binary search. Binary search has a limitation, right? It works only for sorted list. And bubble sort and selection sort. Okay, someone asked me to discuss about typecasting. Typecasting has 2 types. It's called upcasting and downcasting. Downcasting is default, right? And then what is that one? Okay, then we discuss polymorphism. Okay, polymorphism also is a process. Polymorphism is a good characteristic of object-oriented programming. Through polymorphism, we can change behavior of an object during runtime. That is the concept of polymorphism. I will show you an example. So in order to understand polymorphism, you need to understand object relationship. If you understand object relationship, then it will be easy for you to understand polymorphism. That go through my lectures videos. Then if you need something. So for instance, here vehicle. There are 2 types of vehicle: car and then truck. Okay, but both car and trucks are vehicle, but all vehicles are not car. All vehicles are not truck, because some vehicles are car and some vehicles are truck. Right? So this is the concept of polymorphism. So then if you create an object of vehicle type is vehicle. Okay? But kind is vehicle. Type means kind is vehicle. But exactly what is that? That is defined on that is car, maybe car or truck. So for instance, do you see? I wanted to show you a program. Okay, so upcasting. Okay, upcasting is by default and downcasting is not default. I want to tell you something. Maybe typecasting. Okay, let us see this chart. So actually we have object, right? This is the top level grade parent, and then we have number, and we have then character, and then boolean. Okay, and then we can divide numbers into several other types: byte, short, integer, long, float, double. Okay, now let us think which type I can convert from one type to another type. Okay, so let us ask a question to yourself: is all objects are all objects integer? No. Okay, because some objects are characters, some objects are boolean, some objects are double. Okay, let me make it easier. Are all object numbers? No, right? Okay, but are all numbers object? Think about, are all numbers object? Yes, right? Okay, that means when you are going up, then upcasting is by default. Okay, then this is your up, so that all numbers are object, all characters are object, all booleans are object. Okay, similarly all integers are numbers, and all integers are object. So you can convert an integer to an object easily, right? You can convert, you can tell that an integer is a number and also is an object, but you cannot tell that an object is an integer. An object may be an integer. Okay, so how do you implement that maybe? By casting. You will convert. Okay, so the typecasting, maybe I should have a program about typecasting. Okay, typecasting, that will. So okay, just I give you there is a program here. So if you want to play with that program, and then try with this one. Okay, so this is the concept of typecasting. Casting is by this way. So I'm putting integer, I'm converting this because this was a double by default number, right? I'm converting it to an integer number by forcing. Okay, upcasting is default, but downcasting is not default. And so upcasting is easily doable, but downcasting is not doable easily. We have to do it. There are some programs over here, so you can play with it. But one thing before I leave today, I want to discuss with the recursive method. Okay, this is my recursive method. Okay, so this is, so in your program you are asked to write a recursive method like this. For instance, my factorial is my recursive method. It takes only one argument, okay, an integer type argument, and this is the base of your recursive. But every recursive method calls itself, right? So we need a base where it will stop. So this is the base. So we can say if n less or equal to 0, then it returns 1, or even otherwise else return n times factorial n minus 1. Here is the recursion. So I am decreasing my argument here. Initial argument for the fact, initial argument was n, but I am decreasing n minus 1. So it will continue until n becomes 0. Okay, and it will not accept 0. Actually, I could two ways I could give here. I could get equal 0 or less or equal to 0. I will show you. If I run my program, I have factorial of 5 is 120. So instead of less or equal to, I should be able to use equality, okay, double equal, and equal 0. Okay, that should work. Okay, even so, if you put less or equal to 0, or greater or equal to, or equal 0, then it will work. Or you can put 1. If it is 1, then it will return 1. I know that factorial 1 equal to factorial of 1 equal to 1, right? It will work. So what condition you give here should be a valid condition.
That says it's less than or equal.
You can give less or equal to. That will work too. Thank you. That will work too. Okay, but if you want to, for instance, if I give 4, so we know that factorial 4 equal to 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 equal to 24, right? So then if I say, then I have to return 24. So then when if it's equal to 4, then it will return 24. Then it will work. But this is not a valid one. Actually, this is not a base. Okay, actually you should start your base if as lowest as you can go. Okay, or we know that factorial 0 equal to 1, so you can come here. Okay, in your test test 3, okay, in your test 3 we are asked to write a recursive method that will print number from 1 to n, and you are called that you will be allowed to take an integer type argument, and you will not allowed to take any global variable. I do not have any global variable here. So my print number is here. So integer n, if n is greater or equal, less or equal to 0, then I can return. Just return is something it will return. So look at here why I am using void return type here. So then I am able to return only is return. But if I use my return type as integer, then be careful, I will not be able to use return, only return statement. I need to do to return some value. I will show you that later. But here, what I wanted to do, okay, to return in ascending order. Recursive ascending order print. Okay, so this one. So what changes do I need to do in order to display in descending order? Can anyone please tell me? What changes I need to do in order to display the numbers in descending order? For instance, 10, 9, 8, 7, up to 1. Think about. Yes.
in the if statement, n would have to be, or it would be n is greater than, or no, if n is equal.
So I want to change only on this line. I want to give the print statement first and then the recursion call next. If I run it, to one section you will have to do ascending and another section you have to do descending. Okay? For the descending order, so you need to print first, then it will first print 10 and then it will call 9, print order with 9, then 9 will call print 9 and then will call 8, then 8 will print 8, then after it will call 9. So the difference, just you need to do one change, everything is same, just to write this line up or down. So this one will call in ascending order, and the second one is the same method, it will call in descending order. For descending order you need to print first. Okay, now let us think that if I want to change my return statement here, instead of void, if I want to make it integer, what will happen? Then I cannot do it, right? Then I cannot write return, then I have to return something, either 0 or 1 or something. Then here I need to return something. This is why it is showing me an error. Okay. Then can I use return here? You see the difference? Then I need to use return here. So if I use my return type integer, then I have to define an integer value. Even I could put 1 over here, 1 and then return 1, which should work. Oh, so if it is 1, then I'm ending with 2. Okay. How about less than or equal to 1? Then return 0. So 1 will not work, so I should put 0, right? Okay, again. Okay, I ask you to download this entire project from my GitHub account, and then this project CSE1322 review, and do some practice. Okay, and review your test 1, test 2 and test 3 questions back, and then I'm giving a warning again. The exam will start at 6. If you come, so Paris for you, okay? If you come at 6:30, then you will be late. Okay? For your exam day. For exam will start at 6. Okay, so then if you are late, then you really will be late. You will not be able to complete. Okay? Have a good night, everybody. Anybody has any question? Yes.
So for test 3 in Grayscope, I have no grade, but in D2L, I just got a 0. I think I have some of them right.
You send me